Hey, I'm Clint. I'm the creative director on Far Cry 2. Dynamic narrative is kind of it's a big mouthful for what it is. It's even hard to talk about. But the basic idea is that the story is going to evolve based on the way you play and based on the decisions that you make and based on the characters with whom you interact and the characters who live or die.
So one of the major things we wanted to do is to open up the game world, basically go from typical linear levels, a series of loading, to one big open world that's continuous without loadings. That was our main goal, because it has a lot of implications on all systems. That's really what we focused on.
What's really important to point out is it's not just like there's a bunch of guys and some of them live and some of them die and that's how it goes, right? What's important to point out is that we're managing the dramatic structure of the story under the hood as you move through the game. The character you choose, in fact, we kind of strip away his character and he becomes the vessel that you fill, right? So if you choose, like, I don't know, if you choose Andre because you think he's interesting, then you're going to see your avatar as Andre and you're going to be playing Andre, but Andre's personality isn't coming through. If you want to meet Andre and understand Andre, you have to play a game where Andre is one of the buddies and you have to meet him and see what he's all about that way. When you've been sent to destroy, special forces equipment stockpiled in the shanty town. Like, you're going to come at that location from the direction that you choose. You're going to come at that with, depending if you're far enough in the game and you have enough choice with the weapons of your choosing. You're going to be bringing, rocket launchers or flamethrowers or machine guns, or you're going to bring in, a little pea shooter that's the first pistol you had in the game, and a shotgun you picked up off a dead guy. That really changes what's happening, right? And similarly, the AI has to be able to respond to that different set of options that you have. If you come in there with a truck with a mounted M2 on it, it's like a fully automatic 50 caliber gun and a rocket launcher, that's a completely different equation than you coming in with a pistol and a pump action shotgun.
One thing that's really important is the AI needs to understand what's surrounding. If it's a big world, it needs to know where are the covers, what's happening, if there's a fire that just sprang up, or if the enemy can attack from any direction. It needs to be able to adapt to all of those things. So we spent a lot of time making sure that the AI knew what was happening around him, knew where were the covers and how the environment was built. So that was one big thing. You also need to make sure that you have a good way for those AIs to communicate with one another. For example, if you go to a little camp and you start making trouble, there's another larger camp nearby. Maybe they can call reinforcements. Maybe if you go to the other camp, now they're aware there's trouble going on. So you need to have this layer of communication you don't typically have to deal with if you're just going through a level with a machine gun.
A lot of times in an open fight, you're going to look for an indoor situation because it allows you to limit the angles the AI can come at you. But as you get to the middle part of the game, suddenly you're fighting 4 guys and fall back into a building to heal, and 3 grenades come in the windows at the same time. You're like, oh man, time to change my tactics, right? So all of that kind of stuff is kind of some of the stuff we've built into the progression. Handling the rhythm of the game has been one of the biggest challenges for us on the design side, because the game is so big and so dynamic, and it's very long depending on how you play it. If you only play the sort of main missions and do the main objectives, you can sort of churn through it very quickly. But if you're really the kind of player who's doing the missions, optimizing the missions, working with the buddies, unlocking the safe houses, collecting the diamonds, unlocking the weapons, all of that stuff, it becomes very, very involved. And managing the rhythm of that is a big challenge, especially waiting for the technology to come up so you have all the stability that you can play the game for 10 or 12 hours at a stretch and really get a feel for how the game shifts and what kind of moods it creates.
The other big thing is, well, you probably noticed in the game, is we have a very dynamic environment. You can break objects, you can set fires, you can go in the vegetation with a truck and start breaking all plants. Well, the AI needs to adapt in real time to that dynamism. If it becomes the night, you need to go to sleep. If a fire springs up, you need to say, what the f is going on? You need to have an AI that reacts and adapts very quickly to what's happening in the environment.
Far Cry 2 coming out this fall on PS3, Xbox 360, and PC, simultaneous launch, single player, multiplayer, map editor, all for you this fall.